Kamala Harris says she's ready to debate Trump and accuses him of backpedaling from September. Faceoff. On Thursday, Vice President Kamala Harris informed reporters that she is prepared to engage in a debate with Donald Trump. She accused him of reversing course from a previous agreement for a debate that was hosted by ABC News on September 10. "I believe that the voters should be able to observe the split screen that exists in this race on the debate stage," she stated upon her arrival at Joint Base Andrews after a voyage to Indiana and Texas. The September 10 debate was one of two debates that President Joe Biden and Trump had consented to. CNN hosted the initial event on June 27. However, Biden has since withdrawn from the election and has endorsed Harris as his successor. Trump has expressed his preference for Fox News as the venue for the debate. However, he is prepared to engage Harris on multiple occasions. Harris did not respond to a query regarding Fox News' hosting of a debate. In a statement issued late Thursday, Stephen Chung, the spokesperson for the Trump campaign, stated that the debate arrangements cannot be finalized until the Democrats formally decide on their nominee. Chung stated, "Democrats may still reconsider their stance." Alex Conant, a Republican consultant, stated that the debate could be decisive. "It is the sole occasion during which voters pay attention," he stated. A debate has already demonstrated its potential in this year's campaign. Biden's catastrophic performance on June 27 reignited apprehensions that he was too elderly to serve a second term. His re-election campaign was terminated on Sunday due to the collapse of his support within the Democratic Party. A new Trump-Harris poll reveals numerous significant changes beneath the surface. Following the political turmoil of the previous month, the most recent New York Times/Siena College poll released on Thursday is replete with results that are unprecedented in this cycle, with the exception of the presidential race's leader. Donald J. Trump was discovered to be ahead of Kamala Harris by 1 percentage point among prospective voters, with a score of 48% to 47% during the poll. Before President Biden's calamitous debate, Trump +1 could have been the result of any other Times/Siena poll, with the exception of the Democratic candidate's name. However, there are significant changes from the previous Times/Siena polls, which were conducted prior to the Republican convention, the attempted assassination of Mr. Trump, and the fact that Vice President Harris had essentially secured her party's presidential nomination. Even the 1-point Harris deficit is a substantial improvement for Democrats in comparison to Mr. Biden's 6-point deficit in our most recent Times/Siena poll. As I have previously stated, these events have rendered it difficult to determine the significance of the results of recent polls, such as this one. The survey is a valuable indicator of the current state of the race. However, there is no reason to assume that this will be the case after the dust has settled. Although the poll's overall outcome between Ms. Harris and Mr. Trump may appear familiar, it is replete with indications that there is still a significant amount of uncertainty in the political sphere. Mr. Trump experiences an unprecedented surge in popularity. The percentage of registered voters who hold a favorable opinion of him has increased from 42% in our previous poll, which was conducted after the debate but prior to the convention and assassination attempt, to 48% in total. It is his greatest favorable rating in a Times/Siena poll, which had previously consistently recorded his favorable ratings between 39% and 45%. Ms. Harris is experiencing an immense surge in popularity. In reality, her ratings have risen to an even greater extent than those of Mr. Trump. In general, 46% of registered voters have a favorable opinion of her, which is an increase from 36% when we last surveyed her in February. The percentage of individuals who hold an unfavorable opinion has decreased from 54% in our previous survey to 49%. Equally significant, her favorable rating surpasses that of Mr. Biden. In fact, it surpasses his position in any Times/Siena poll conducted since September 2022, the last time Mr. Biden served as the leader of a national Times/Siena poll of registered electors. The political climate at the national level is somewhat more optimistic. The proportion of voters who believe that the country is on the right track has increased to 27%, which is the highest since the midterm elections in 2022. Despite this, the public is not particularly optimistic or upbeat. As well, Mr. Biden's approval and favorable ratings have increased. The number of voters who detest both candidates has decreased to 8%, a decrease from 20% in Times/Siena polls thus far this year, as the ranks of the double detractors have dwindled while both Ms. Harris and Mr. Trump are currently riding high. There is no justification for concluding that the recurrence of the Trump +1 result indicates that the race has reverted to its pre-debate state, given the numerous underlying shifts in attitudes toward the candidates. Currently, these developments have been largely resolved. However, it is considerably more challenging to predict whether this will remain the case in a few weeks. The gains that Mr. Trump has made over the past month are consistent with a traditional convention bounce, potentially bolstered by the goodwill he has garnered as a result of his survival of the murder attempt. Historically, rebounds have a tendency to diminish, although this does not inevitably mean that they will disappear entirely. What has transpired with Ms. Harris in the past week is entirely inconsistent with any text. It is likely that she will continue to capitalize on the impetus of her new candidacy for an extended period. However, anything is feasible thereafter. The public's response to her and the assaults against her in the days and weeks ahead will only be determined by time. The following are a few excerpts from our survey. Indeed, the Democratic transformation appears to be well received by the voters. I am under the impression that the Times/Siena poll has never encountered a situation in which 87% of voters concurred with a single statement. However, this is the percentage of voters who have expressed their approval of Mr. Biden's decision to withdraw from the presidential contest. 9% of respondents expressed their disapproval. In contrast, the Democratic Party is prepared to receive Kamala. The party should nominate her for president, according to nearly 4/5 of the respondents, while 14% believe that they should nominate someone else. According to a slightly larger 27% of respondents, the party should promote a competitive nominating process. However, 70% of respondents believe that the party should swiftly nominate Ms. Harris and unite behind her. A demographic divide that is more typical. For almost a year, we have been monitoring Mr. Biden's vulnerability among low-turnout, youthful Black and Hispanic voters, as you are aware if you are a regular reader of The Tilt. Given the potential volatility that lies ahead, it will require some time before we can obtain a comprehensive understanding of the demographic characteristics of this new race, potentially exceeding a month. However, the Harris-Trump matchup in this poll results in a separate and more conventional demographic divide.